Welcome to Ignite Success. I'm your host, Snowden McFall, 25-year professional speaker, 6-time author, and coach. And with me today is Cathy Crowther. Cathy is Senior Director of Remote Operations for the PGA Tour Entertainment Division. Welcome, Cathy.
Thank you, Snowden.
So, you've been in this industry for a long time.
Yes, 35 years.
Which is amazing. And you're now finally able to stay in town a little bit.
Correct. This is the first time I'm working where I'm living, which has been new to me.
So you've been traveling all these years.
I've traveled all these years. I've lived here, worked in Orlando for many years. I've lived in upstate New York, traveled the world with my prior employer, NBC Sports. So I have seen every sport you can name.
So what's your favorite sport?
Golf has been my favorite sport.
Golf has been your favorite. And do you play yourself?
I do play.
Okay, well that's fun. That's great.
It is.
So what would you say are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned working in a male-dominated industry? Particularly, obviously, golf is very male-dominated.
Correct. And sports television is very male-dominated.
It sure is.
There are many times where I was the only woman in the production part of it, even in the office. There were a lot of women who were assistants, administrative assistants, but not in the manager level when I first started. Obviously, all that has changed now. The biggest thing I would say in the I never realized it was male-dominated. It was, obviously, but I never thought I couldn't keep up with the men.
Oh, of course not.
I was always taught you work hard and do well and you will be successful. And that was really my main goal. And there was obviously through the years, there were different goals for me.
Right.
Because I had children, I took a step back and didn't want the high executive job for many years because I wanted to be home or to be around so I could be there for them during their school years.
Right.
So once they all decided when they all went to college and moved on, I was able to get a little more successful and say I can take on more. I'm ready for the challenge. I have the time now for me to do that.
So what advice would you give to women who are in male-dominated industries or thinking about entering, for example, the world of sports?
Well, always do your best, work your hardest. If you think you're bored, then you're not working hard enough. You need to say, how can I do this better? Learn more about the industry you're in, the department you are in, ask questions, and look up to someone. Find someone to be your mentor to show you the way.
And have you had male mentors as well as female mentors?
Yes. Dick Ebersol was a big mentor of mine for many, many years.
Oh, that's great.
And I would go to him and say, how should I do this? I need help. Can you help me? And he was a very big part of my success at NBC Sports.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And have you encountered, through the years as you've been dealing with different levels, have you encountered some sexism? Have you encountered some people being rude to you just because you're female?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. It happens. I remember especially I was in Tokyo doing a sumo wrestling shoot. They would not let me in the ring. They wouldn't let me in the area. And I was the lead manager on this particular event.
Oh, my.
But it was a custom of theirs. And this was back in the early 80s, mid-80s. They were not used to having women who were in charge. So I was respectful. And I sat and watched, and interestingly enough, one of the big wigs there felt really bad. He knew it wasn't what they should have done, but it was their culture.
Right.
And he came afterwards and gave me a gift, which was their big thing.
Oh, yes.
And they gave all the men a gift but me, and he ended up getting a gift for me. So those things happen. You remember them.
Right.
And I try not to become uncomfortable when that happens. I try to right the wrong without them even knowing that I'm righting the wrong.
That's right. And so that was one of the other aspects we were discussing, is the importance of both listening and kindness.
Correct. If you treat people the way you want to be treated, it should all work out. I taught that as a young child, and you smile when you're speaking with people and listen. If you listen, you'll understand maybe the whole story. If you only listen to half of it, you might not understand. And yes, there's going to be times, and it might not just be men who make those sexist comments or just they don't even realize what they're doing. It could be another woman. You just have to take in the whole situation and then maybe at another time correct that wrong.
And I think it's so important that women bring other women up and champion other women.
Absolutely.
Because that's, I was sharing not too long ago that one of the studies I read recently is that the greatest amount of bullying in the workplace is woman against woman, which is awful.
Yes,
I hate hearing that.
It is terrible, but
yes.
And I will take anyone, and it doesn't have to be male or female. I will try to encourage them. Hey, listen, I've been doing this a long time. I think this is how you need to approach this matter. I know you all want to get promoted and make more money, but there is a process to it, and you need to. The only thing you can't rush is time.
Right.
That's what I try to tell them. It will come. Patience, perseverance. It will come. You just have to be patient.
Right, and I know a lot of people are not patient in today's world.
So they want everything yesterday.
I know, they want it instant.
And they're like, I look at myself going, wow, 35 years. The time did fly. They don't realize it. It does fly.
It does.
The more you ask questions, the more you try to learn about whatever it is you're doing and someone else's job, you will become successful. There's no other way. You have to.
Right. I couldn't agree more. Well, thank you for all you've done, for your leadership, for your inspirational mentorship of others, and continue your great work at PGA Tours.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
Very good to have you here.
Thank you.